Hey guys, into the end here. I'm doing another draft video today. I have done two drafts today. The first draft I recorded on video, but I'm not sure if I'm going to release it because it's fairly uneventful. And I did a second draft that I did not record, and I did end up going 7-0 with the second draft. Unfortunately, that's the much more exciting one, and that's the one I did not record. But I will show you the deck that I drafted so that you have an idea of what a 7-0 deck might look like. I do have a bomb in General Izalio, and then just a lot of very solid cards. Archive Curator, an all-time favorite of mine. This card is a bit of an all-star in this deck. Between two Sand Vipers and the Archive Curator, you have both the ground and air pretty locked up, and then just a lot of really good value, large units, some tricks, some removal, and some sort of game-ending threats like Cloud of Ash, and then some early game removal, some tricks. So anyway, this is what the deck looks like. It's a Praxis deck that splashes both green and blue, but I'm able to do so because I picked banners very early in the draft. Having 4 banners made a really big difference in my ability to splash cards. But anyway, that's the last draft. Let's jump right into another one. Okay, so this is the third draft that I'm doing today. I'm doing a lot of drafts today because it's halfway through the month, and I haven't done any drafts before today, and I do need to start my climb into Masters. I love the Curator, but I do like Banish. I think Banish and Hunter's Harpoon are the two best cards. I'm okay picking dual color cards on my first pick, and I think Banish is better than Hunter's Harpoon because it's a lot more versatile. And removal spells, of course, as we all know, very hard to come by in limited, and this is a very good removal spell. So I think I will go ahead and take the Banish over the Harpoon and the Curator. If the Banish was not in that pack, I would probably pick one of these two cards, but I'm not sure which one. So pick the Banish first. Oh, Valkyrie Sparguard is very good. I think despite having a Zenin first pick, I'm very happy to pick up a Sparguard. This card is quite the bomb if you can activate it. A 4 mana 6/6, a 4 power 6/6 is very hard to beat and will win you most games. So let's just go ahead and grab that. First 2 picks, 2 rares. The Blister Sting Wasp goes very well with Banish. And Banish is also the color of Life Force, and I do have an Amethyst Ring and an Extract, both of which is very good for triggering Life Force. Between the Wasp and the Extract, I think I'm going to value the Wasp a little bit more, because the Wasp it's flying, so it can pretty much block any unit in the game and trade. So this is I think, also because it's a 2-drop, and also because it can do damage, it can hold a weapon. I do think the Blister Sting Wasp is better than Extract here. The only reason for taking Extract is if I end up being an Argenport, I can play Extract and Spireguard and splash the Banish. But if I took the Blister Sting Wasp, I'm not going to be able to splash it. Now that I think of it in that sense, I think I might have talked myself out of the Blister Sting Wasp and talked myself into an Extract. You know what? That might be good. Extract is not that much worse, it's only slightly worse, but having the Extract gives me an out to playing the Spireguard. Yeah, let's do that. Although there's no green card the last pack, so somebody on our right is taking green. So because there's no green pack this pack, I think we can conclude that green is being cut. So that's kind of problematic. So back to the Zenin deck. If it is Zenin, then I think the Cupbearer is probably better than the Longshot Marksman. But the Noble Firemane is very good, and I think this is something I can splash. 1 red. You don't need to play this card in turn 2. You can play it in any later turn, and it becomes a very powerful threat. Is this Noble Firemane enough better that I'm going to risk splashing it? You know what? I think it is. I think the Zen Cupbearer is very mediocre. I've not been very impressed with this card. I'm also not super impressed by the Longshot Marksman either. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Noble Fireman here. I do realize that my picks are a little all over the place. I have now 4 colors in my first 4 picks. The only one I'm missing is blue, but I'm still gonna take the Fireman here. Yeah, and I'm actually pretty happy picking up the second Fireman because it looks like to me Praxis is really open. And I think the Fireman is actually better than Purify, as hard that is to believe. But then again, multiple copies of Noble Fireman on the board at the same time isn't any better. You only need 1 copy. And you can only activate the ability later in the game anyway, so you don't really care if you play this on turn 2 or not. Alright, I talked myself out of it. I'm gonna take Purify here. Wow. Okay, I am... Black is definitely open, so what I can do is I can play a 3-color deck with main black and then having fire and time as a secondary color. The Unburned Thrasher is very good, but Extract is just so much better. We're just gonna go ahead and take the Extract here. Okay, so the 4/4 is very solid. The Extract is very good, but the Praxis banner is perfect. I'm just gonna take the Extract and see how that goes. Because now I don't even need... I mean, I can always cut the Banish, right? Wait, no, I can't cut the Banish. I can always cut the Noble Fireman and the Purify and play another color. For example, I can take up this Valkyrie Denouncer. Grenade is fine, but red's gonna be maybe this is very tough. I know I'm most likely Shadow because I have 4 Shadow cards and 3 Extracts, but I don't know if I want Time or Fire to be my secondary color yet. You know what? Because of that reason, I'm just gonna take the Archaeologist. It delays my decision making a little bit. How many Extract is too many Extracts? I'm just gonna take the 4th copy. I don't even care. I think I'll take the Stranger here. Sunglass Sentinel is very good with a lot of removal spells though. But I think I can take these up quite late. So let's just take the Swift Stranger first. Yeah, he can take it very late. Now that I have so many life gain, do I want this Life Force card? I'm not sure. Even though I have a lot of life force, a life gain, these are one use. They cannot be repeated, and this thing is pretty awful if you only trigger the life force once, even twice. It's a lot of work to make a 4/4. But then these are also a dime a dozen. I'm pretty sure I can pick up one of these later on in the draft. This could potentially be very good for us. Yeah, let's take this for the potential upside. Oh, jeez. Is this card even beatable? Okay, if I don't take this, I'm thinking the clear pick is Suffocate, but jeez, this card is almost good enough to be switching colors for, because this card, I really don't think this card is beatable. Alright, let's reevaluate our plans. So we just have 4 playable cards from the first pack and ignore everything else. Can we... Oh no, we also have a Spire Guard. Can we jump into green now and just maybe splash the Banish? So I'm gonna be an Argenport deck splashing 1 Banish. I'm gonna try. This card cannot be beaten. I'm just gonna go for it. Wow, Annihilate and Vanquish are both very good, but considering the fact that I have a whole bunch of Extracts, I'm more interested in killing high power units. So let's just take the Vanquish over the Annihilate. Alright, forget it. We're gonna try and get into green, so mistake or not mistake, we're gonna go for it. Let's grab the Elysian Stranger because that helps us splash time. No shadow card worth taking. Sabotage is not very good in draft, so let's take the Elysian Stranger. Lathrai Ranger is very good. I think it's better than a Blood Beetle here. So let's just go ahead and take this. Over not much else. This is a pretty good combo with the Lathrai Ranger, actually. If you're going to be in Shadow, there is a lot of really good Infiltrate cards, and this is a pretty good enabler. But then again, I like the 3 power one that has Revenge more than this. But Dark Return is like, if you can use Dark Return on a Spark Guard or a Roland, I think you just can't lose. So let's just go ahead and take the Dark Return first. Yep, this is perfectly fine. 4 power, 3, 4, 3. I don't think this deck is aggressive enough to play Blood Beetle, and if you're not a really aggressive deck, this card is very mediocre. So let's just go ahead and take the 4 mana 4/3. Subverb is quite good. I think Subverb is better than the Longsword. This card sometimes wins you games because by the time you can cast a 4 power card, your opponent will only really have 5 or plus power cards that are usually very strong, or they have some kind of a trick in their hand, or removal spell. So I think this is a pretty good card to have. The Longsword is much better if you have a very aggressive deck, and my deck isn't looking super aggressive right now, so let's just go ahead and get the Subvert. Privilege of Rank is quite fine, Scheme is also quite fine, but we're going to take the Privilege of the Rank because we have a 8-drop here. Oh, this Spider is fantastic. It blocks everything, so yep, this shield's very good. I don't think I need to play the Fallen Oni. I'm going to play another shield. Definitely not playing Second Sight. Okay, if we had stuck with our Life Force theme, this is another unbeatable card. Wow, we what a roller coaster ride. We jumped into green for this, and then now we're back to a very good Life Force card. But I think at this point, this ship has sailed. We are too deep into green. So just take a look at what else we got here. This is a potentially splashable card, and it is really good. But let's see what other options I have. I think I just take the Zenin Stranger. The Zenin Stranger definitely helps us splash time cards, which is this Banish, and the Banish is quite good. So I'm pretty happy picking up the Stranger. I also need some 2-drops to smooth out my curve. So I think that is our pick. This is definitely not what we want here. And out of these black cards, I think Jack's Knife is too aggressive. Our deck really isn't that aggressive. So let's just go ahead and take the Stranger here. That won't help us. That would have been a good splash if we have any kind of ways to splash. Oh no, we do have one way to splash. We have a Stranger here that can give us blue. And we have a Valkyrie Denouncer, which is quite good. The Horn Grinder is very good. I'm a pretty big fan of this card. But so far, we haven't drafted any weapons, and we have no way to gain armor. So that's not great. Bludgeoner is fine, but we have 2 Stalwart Shields, which is very good in the Bludgeoner, but I think we'll just go ahead and take this 5 power 3/3 flying unit. It doesn't require any work, and it's always pretty decent, whereas these cards require work, even though they have a higher upside. Yeah, let's just go ahead and take the Denouncer here. Oh, that's good. High Branch Sentry is most likely what I'm going to end up taking. 3 power 3/3s are very good. Bludgeoner is fine. We do have 2 shields, but I'm pretty happy taking up more 3 power 3/3s. Our curve is very deceiving. It looks like we have a lot of 3-drops, but we actually don't. All of our 3-drops are spells that we don't need to play on turn 3. So we actually don't have any 3-drops that are units. That's why I'm going to pick this up. Too bad that we can't splash Dragon's Breath. I would love to. Talon is also perfectly fine, but I have a whole bunch of removal spells that can get rid of smaller units. So let's just take the 3-drop, 3/3 here. Seriously, how many extract is too many extract? I don't even care. I'm just gonna take another one. We have 5. Argentport Stranger is perfect. It helps us fix mana. None of these other cards are important. Go ahead and grab that. Yep, Strength of Many, exactly what I want in this deck. It is a good trick. Although we don't have quite enough units to take full advantage of this, and we already have a lot of removal spells. That is an argument for why I shouldn't take this. But what else am I going to take in this pack? I'm not going to play Swear Vengeance. I'm not going to play this. I'm definitely not going to splash for a Zenin Cupbearer. There's actually no other cards for me, so Strength of Many it is. Jeez. I could have had like, what, 3 or 4 Dragon's Breath by now? That's pretty absurd. Can I double splash to Purify? Can I get away with double splashing and get super greedy? Because I do have 3 strangers already, and they help quite a bit. Or do I just go for another Zenin Stranger and really solidify the time splash? Even though I'm only splashing a single time card at the moment. I could potentially splash this. No, that's not good enough. I'm actually very tempted to pick up the Purify or the Praxis Banner here. Because if I pick up the Praxis Banner, I can splash this Purify and this Noble Firemane. Huh. Over a Zenin Stranger? I think that's actually worth it. Let's just go and try that out. I don't need this Buckler. I don't need this. This Stranger helps us splash blue, but we have already passed all the Dragon Breath, so there's no point taking this now. So it's very unlikely that we'll be splashing blue. We're gonna play none of these cards actually, so I guess we'll take the Stranger because it's a playable card. The Sanguine Sword is only good if you happen to pick up a lot of the Entomb outlets, the Sacrifice outlets, which we have none of. But then again, I'm not playing any of these other cards, so there we go. Hey, Banner, perfect. This Zenin Banner is... So basically, if we want to splash, if we want to pick up any time cards, it's a free splash. We have far too many fixing for time right now. So if we see a good time card, we can snatch it. But clearly here we take the Countess. Countess is very good in draft. 6/1 quick draw is very hard to beat. I would take it over the Finest Hour here. Well, not that card. I can't play it. I can't splash that. I have a bunch of strangers, but I'm pretty sure I won't. Wait a minute. This is a time card. Well, I can play the time card for free, but I'm not gonna play this regardless because I don't plan on playing all my strangers. I think the Rakano Stranger really does help us splash red, and I don't mind playing the Purify. Or I can just pick up a 3/3 flyer. I think I'm just gonna pick up a 3/3 flyer. I do feel slightly light on the creatures at the moment. Shadowland Guide. It brings back the Direfang Spider. That's almost good enough. A 3-mana 3/1 that brings back a deadly unit is almost good enough. Almost. I'm not gonna play a 3rd copy of the shield. The Glaive is alright, but I think I have enough things that are... I think I have enough spells and attachments. I do need to pick up some units, even though this unit isn't the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to play this, but 8, 9, 10, 11. I only have 12 units. That's kind of scary. This Glaive is very good, though. No, I think I'm just gonna take the unit. Here, I think I'll take the Valkyrie Aspirant. We have a deck that kind of goes late, and the Aspirant is a Valkyrie, so it's pretty good with the Spire Guard. maybe a little bit better than a second copy of the Dire Fang Spider. Hey, this is perfect. I'm not gonna play another removal spell. I don't want another 5-drop because I already have 2 5-mana 3/3s. I think the pick here is either this vanilla 6/4 or this 2-power 2/2 lifesteal card. And I think, considering how high my curve is, I'm leaning towards this Cutthroat here. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, actually, this is most perfect because then the Slumbering Stone is a good blocker early game. Your opponent really doesn't want to attack into it, and then it also works with a sword. I think that makes it better than the Grunt. Free Splash. I'm really close to be able to splash red here. Because my fixing in this deck is fantastic. I could choose this, which gives me the red splash for sure. Then I'll be able to play Purify and Noble Firemane, or I can take the Mithril Mace. I feel like I have too many removal spells. I have 5. I have 5 extracts. A Banish, a Vanquish, and a Sword already. I think that, but then again, because I have so many removal spells, do I really need this Purify? Let's just take this Mace. My deck's not very aggressive. I don't think the Scavenging Vulture is going to be very good in my deck. But I'm not going to play Rebuke, I don't think. Okay, Venomous Dagger might be playable. That's not playable. Oh, this 2/5 is perfect. Take the 2/5 over the Dire Fang Spider. Okay, I think our deck is good. I think we have a lot of good cards. I think the tricky part is how to make a deck with it, because we have a lot of cards to choose from, a lot of colors to choose from, and a lot of splash options. So let's take a look. Let's put in the cards that we know we're going to play, or most likely going to play. All of these good green cards. Yep, these are just early game blockers. 5 copies of Extract. Okay, so the Purify and the Noble Firemanes are both very good splashes. So we'll add them to our deck and see what becomes of them. We're not gonna play the Horror Stranger for sure though, because we are definitely not splashing blue. All right, with 36 playable cards, I think the easiest cut is going to be the red ones. That leave us with just 3 colors. The Banish is basically a free splash because I have a lot of fixing for it. So let's take a look at our curve. Our 3 is high, but it's deceiving because all of these extracts doesn't have to be played on turn 3. The Shadowland guide is looking much worse. Actually, it's actually looking better because I picked up another 1-drop. All right, let's put it back in. So because I picked up this 1-drop here, and also a Shadowland guide that can bring back either of these, the sword has gone up in stock. I think this is a 18 land deck, so I need to cut. I need to cut 7 cards. Perhaps the Mithril Mace can be a cut. I have a lot of removal spells already. Oh, I have another 1-drop. I actually have 3 1-drops. So the Shadowland Guide is definitely good. The Argent Soldier, I think, is not super needed on the 2 slot. I'm not that aggressive, and I don't plan to attack people with it, but it is a good blocker. I'll give it that. I do want this fixing, and I want this fixing, and you know, there's a good argument for not playing any of the strangers and just cut the banish. I think that is a perfectly valid option to go as well, and just rely on these 5 as removal spells and the vanquish. That's 6 removal. 6 removal. One of which can deal with big units. Actually 7 removal. 6 of which can't deal with very large units though. But I think that's fine. Yeah, I'll cut the Zenin as well. I'll cut the banish. Now, we have to cut 3 more cards. I think the Venomous Dagger can be cut. We are very low on units. We have 16, and we have a lot of conditional cards. All removal spells are conditional. This is kind of conditional. I don't want to play as a 4-mana 2/2 weapon. And the the Venomous Dagger is certainly conditional that I have a unit in play. And even if when I put it onto a unit, it's most likely just going to trade with my opponent's unit, so it's 2 for 1. So it's not great. I have to cut 2 more cards. I'm looking at the Stalwart Shield and the Subvert at this point. Subvert can potentially be a blank if my opponent has a land or 2 in play and I draw their land. Sorry, if they kept the 1 or 2 power sources in hand and I get the power, that would be miserable. Or if they just have bad cards, or they have no cards in hand, because we are top decking. So let's just get rid of the Subvert. So the question is, can I count this as a power source? Because this draws me 2 power. So if I have this, is 17 power enough? Considering the fact that I only have 1 8 power card and everything else can be played with 5 power. So maybe I can get away with only 17 power sources. 9 and 8, that looks pretty good. Alright, we're gonna give this a try. So that's my deck. The final version of the deck. We're going to record the gameplay videos separately. I've never drafted 5 extracts before. I'm very curious to see if they're any good. They may be very, very good, or might lose because they're not good enough. We'll see. But I suspect they're good enough because at the very least I can shoot my opponent with this, and that's already 15 points of damage. Okay, alright. So thanks for watching. I'm going to stop the video now and record the gameplays separately.